was 2:17 a.m. when my phone buzzed. A single text from my wife shattered my world. "I can't wait to see him again tonight. I'm done pretending with you." I froze, my coffee cup slipping from my trembling hand, smashing against the hardwood floor. The sound echoed like a gunshot in the silence of our home. Every lie she had ever told, every promise, every smile, it all crumbled instantly. Betrayal, raw and ruthless, coursed through me. I could feel my hands tightening into fists, my mind igniting with a furious determination. She thought she could hide this, thought I'd remain oblivious. But she had just made the fatal mistake of underestimating the monster she created in me. I spent the next several days in a daze, walking through life like a ghost. Everyone around me noticed the change, the quiet fury, the clenched jaw, the eyes that darted around, always calculating. My wife, oblivious to my awakening, continued her normal routines, laughing, cooking, texting. Each laugh, each casual glance, felt like salt in my wound. At work, my focus was razor-sharp but poisoned, as if every task, every meeting, was a chess move in a game only I understood. I wasn't just hurt. I was alive with a simmering, hungry rage. I began to investigate her. At first, it was small things, checking her phone when she left it unattended, tracking the patterns of her messages, memorizing the subtle inconsistencies in her stories. I noted the times she left the house, the days she seemed busy with work, the emails she'd quickly delete. Every secret she tried to hide became a weapon I could wield. The betrayal had to be acknowledged, quantified, and paid for in a currency she could understand: fear, humiliation, and loss. Then came the moment I realized I could strike without her ever seeing it coming. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to confront her in the soft, desperate way I once would have. No, this would be surgical. I watched her with the patience of a predator, cataloging her weaknesses, her habits, her arrogance. She flaunted her deceit like a crown. Every confident smile, every casual text, every whispered lie fueled the inferno inside me. And yet, as I planned, a strange, perverse satisfaction crept in. It wasn't the act itself that excited me. It was the anticipation. Revenge isn't about the moment. It's about the slow, methodical dismantling of the person who dared betray you. Each day, I refined my plan. Each night, I imagined the look in her eyes when she realized she was powerless against me. She never suspected. She never imagined that the man she had mocked, the one she had laughed at in private, would become an instrument of her undoing. And as I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, I realized something terrifying. This wasn't going to end quickly. The hunger for justice, my justice, had become part of me. It would define my every move until she understood the weight of her betrayal. I waited for the perfect opportunity, and when it came, I struck with precision. Her lover had made himself known in small ways: flirtatious comments, lingering texts, a careless confidence that made him visible. I exploited it. I started with subtle chaos, rearranging schedules, planting seeds of doubt in her mind about his loyalty, exposing tiny lies he had told her. I watched as her world slowly destabilized. Then came the financial blow. I had access to accounts, investments, and I used it with quiet cruelty. Money she thought untouchable disappeared in increments she couldn't trace. Every luxury she flaunted became a reminder of the loss I orchestrated. She began to stumble, her confidence cracking like fragile glass. I watched her panic with cold detachment. She was discovering that her world was fragile, that I was not a man to be underestimated. I didn't act openly. No shouting, no confrontations. Each action was hidden, unseen, calculated to maximize fear. The friends she confided in suddenly turned distant, her texts received with deliberate delays, her emails misdirected. Every connection she relied on to feel secure was systematically weakened. She started second-guessing herself. Did her lover actually care? Did anyone really support her? Every question was a dagger, and I made sure she felt each cut. And the psychological torment, the most delicious part, was watching her realize she was trapped in a web she couldn't untangle. I had become the shadow in every room, the whisper behind every plan. She couldn't escape me, couldn't bargain, couldn't imagine that someone she had wounded so deeply could be so patient and methodical. I didn't rush. Revenge is a slow burn, a careful orchestration of pain. Then the final move approached. I positioned her lover, unknowingly, for exposure. I let her believe he had been faithful, only to reveal his duplicity at the perfect moment. When she saw him falter, when she realized she had been lied to twice, the look on her face was exquisite. Shock, panic, and horror, the perfect combination. She had built a world of lies, and I had torn the foundation from beneath her. The confrontation wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic in the way outsiders would expect. It was surgical, controlled, and devastating. I invited her to our home under the guise of reconciliation, a trap dressed in normalcy. As she entered, I let her see everything. The empty accounts, the exposed lies, the evidence of her betrayal laid bare. Her lover was gone, abandoned by both me and circumstance. Her panic was palpable. She searched for excuses, for tears, for pleading words that might sway me. But there was nothing. Every argument she had ever used, every justification, crumbled in the face of the meticulous revenge I had spent months crafting. The woman who had thought herself untouchable was now powerless, stripped of security, pride, and allies. Her world had shrunk to the walls of the home where she once felt safe and now feared. I didn't gloat. Revenge doesn't need theatrics. It needs impact. And the impact was total. She understood, finally, that betrayal comes at a price, and I had calculated every penny. She was left with the ruin of her plans, the collapse of her image, and the silence of a husband who had once loved her but had become a force she could not comprehend. As she sank into despair, I realized the truth of vengeance. It consumes as much of you as it does the target. My life had narrowed to a singular purpose, my soul weighed down by obsession. But I didn't regret it. Every moment of planning, every sleepless night, every careful maneuver had brought justice to a man who had been humiliated beyond measure. In the aftermath, I walked away, unbroken but transformed. She would never forget the price of betrayal. And neither would I. Moral of the story. Betrayal leaves scars that demand payment, and revenge, once unleashed, exacts its toll on both the betrayer and the avenger.